of the hardest things about packing for days like this is making sure that you're kind of covered for any weather. It says 21 degrees on the thermometer. If you look up, like, there's heavy rain clouds, and then over that side it's clear blue skies. So you kind of have to factor in for everything in between. Two things that you want to have with you at all times: water and some gloves. And depending on the time of the year and if you've got hay fever, these are a must. Anytime that you are outdoors, I always carry a single forged knife. Obviously I'm using mine to peel an avocado now, but I can't express to you the amount of times that it's the same knife, whether it's I've got caught in something, and this is biodegradable. That's what I'm throwing on the floor before anybody gets onto me about littering. But it's a good way just to ensure. Sometimes you might fall down a hill and you need to dig something in to pull yourself back up, as you'll probably see later. Or you might need to slice an avocado. Or I can't think of any more excuses right now, but it's a good piece of equipment to have. The reason that I say single forged is because it won't snap. If you need help getting up a hill, you can dig it in and pull yourself up, and the fold between the handle and the knife won't actually snap because it's solid. I've had this knife maybe 4 years now. I use it for everything from hunting, skinning animals, cutting avocado. £15 from any decent outdoor shop. Dotted all over the place are these signs, and if you look in there, the camera doesn't do a very good job of showing depth, but there is what would have been a mine shaft, and that would have gone down into the ground and into the surrounding hills, brought back out. All under here originally would have been the waste pile, scrap pile of all the debris that they would have brought out of the holes. But be wary, you don't want to fall underground. Anytime that you're in places like this, just be conscious of the surroundings, and if you dig in, obviously on the bottom, be careful of the rocks above. It's obviously a lot of landslide that's happened, and you don't want pieces like this falling on your head. However, when these rock slides do happen, because some of these mines are limestone, you can generally, if you have a look, find the occasional fossil. So that would be the parts of a shell. That way is the way that it would be. There's obviously the bottom of it, where the two shells would join. And again here, see another piece there. If you look inside there, you see some fluorite crystals inside the little pocket. And again there. The rocks move, so I wouldn't suggest scrambling up these hills unless you're quite heavy, steady-footed, as you can quite easily twist an ankle and fall off the hill. When I said to you about having a knife that might save your life, I basically fell from here once, all the way down here, and the thing that stopped me falling was a hammer. I reversed it and stuck it into the hill, and that has stopped me from falling. Again, with the landslides, I was actually standing here and the ground beneath me fell, so all of this fell with it. I was relatively lucky that I wasn't underneath it. But again, more to my point, if you dig in here, you need to be wary of these rocks up the top as a lot of them aren't actually connected to anything. So if you look on here, these rocks literally just fall apart. There's plenty of perfectly formed little golden fluorite pieces. Obviously this is on a big matrix, and it's almost not worth trying to break that off because the damage that you'd have to do to the crystals isn't worth it. Even though in there it looks like it follows through. If you were to break that open, in fact, let's have a go. And so I literally just cracked that piece in two, and that is what you see inside. This is a perfect example of the fossil structures inside the matrix. For those that don't know, the matrix is what the crystals actually grow to. So this would be the crystal, obviously, and then this would be the matrix. And these are actually shells, similar to scallop shells. Working into the side of the mountain, we just pulled a big piece from here. This was one of them, and that opened up this pocket here. If you look carefully, if you move some of the dirt, you'll see some of the points. Yeah, that means that on the side of this rock here, inside the cavity, will be more. So we're going to work on getting this out and see what else is in here. There you go. So this is a pile that was scrap from when I last came here. Obviously the rains had time to fall on it, and so on and so on. But under here are some fantastic pieces that the rain's kind of done the job for me. A lot of these pieces won't go back because they're either too small or, wow, too small or have too much rock on for the amount of crystal that's on there. But again, under here, once that polishes up, it'll be perfect. Oh, sorry guys, getting attacked by a fly. Underneath there will be perfect cubes of fluorite, so that one's going in. Possibly the only downfall to coming crystal hunting is the walk back to wherever you've parked. Mine's probably about a mile away, but when you've got a backpack that's full like that, it's got to be at least another 30 kilos on top, which when you're walking downhill, even if you're walking downhill, especially if you're walking uphill, is not for the faint-hearted. Been on hill for 2 seconds and found some tiny purple edged fluorite. Again, that's the angle that we're seeing at, so make sure that you're stable on your feet, or don't do it at all. Here's the simple answer. There's another massive landslide there. It's quite eerie when you stand over the top and you realise how far up you are. Oh, let's not go on there, look at that. I was just about to jump on there. Imagine if that fell off. Oh yeah, let's not do that. So I found the first pieces of decent purple fluorite. Yeah, sitting on some calcite. And then right underneath it was another piece. Look at that. And then there's another one on the other side. That is gorgeous. Look at this for an awesome little fossil piece. You see the actual layers that it's gone through. Whoa, that's quite... Put my glove down. It's quite a big shell. I wonder if we can knock the outside part off. Nah, it's all crumbled. Oh, we got that. Anyway, in this rock here, there seems to be speckles of gold. There are little traces in this rock here. And I think it might be pyrite. If we look at the cubes, yeah, it's pyrite. So we got pyrite here too. And that's all in with this copper ore. Oh, look, big piece there. Let's have a look, see what we can find here. So what it is, let's use my knife. This trusty knife. And pick out pyrite cubes. Hopefully we might come across quite a big one. But they are everywhere. Get that one before it runs off. Oh, I like that one. If this rock wasn't so crumbly, it would be good to try and get some and keep them on the matrix. But it's rock, it's fragile, you can just break it with your hands. Let's see. Again, a few bits of pyrite in there. Nothing to shout about though. Time to get dressed and go for a swim. Just stumbled across some baby ducks. I could hear some cheeping. 4 of them. Cute little things. Oh. We'll leave them because we don't want to scare them too much. Came back to check on this big rock that I said had the fossils in, and inside here are humongous pieces of pyrite mixed with more fossils, obviously, but this is all pyrite running through it. My little friends are still down there. I'm in 2 minds whether to take them to a lost and found for pets, whatever that's called, like RSPCA, because I haven't seen a male duck or a female duck here this entire time. There's not one on the water, and there is a lot of foxes around here, especially at night times because this place fills with hares. So I am fairly undecided about that. They seem to look healthy though, so I might just leave them. Interrupting nature. So a little update on what's going on. today has turned into a rescue mission. So we've gone from crystal hunting to having some new pets. So I've had to clear out one of the bags. I think they're a little bit dehydrated. So the chicks were actually under a big rock, a boulder like these, but maybe 2-3 times the size. And when I was walking past them, they all scuttled out. And then kind of left them to it. And I haven't seen any, I think the mallards, but I haven't seen any duck of any form today. And I never have actually. So I was a little bit apprehensive about taking them out of the environment that they're in. But dusk's drawing in. I've seen a million foxes here, and when I walked past them and they ran out into the open, all the crows saw them, and the crows started swarming around where we were, and we were all kind of signaling to each other. And then funnily enough, the minute I put the chicks in the bag, all the crows stopped talking. To any YSPCA animal activists, Peter, or you guys, anyone that's going to comment in the section saying, oh, you shouldn't have took the animals out of their environment, so on and so on. Believe me, this was the last thing that I wanted to do. This bag that I've got them in was full of stones, relatively big ones that I wanted to cut down, and now I've got to put them in my backpack again for like another 2 miles. And on top of that, I'm stuck with some fucking chicks up until I get to the RSPCA people, which will be tomorrow at some point or the day after. Preferably tomorrow, because I don't know how to keep a chick. But, actually, I just found a bottle of water here. I'm going to give it to them. And again, for the RSPCA people who say, oh my God, shouldn't have took them, it's the circle of life, blah, blah, blah. Have you seen how cute these things are? Would you leave them? Foxes have got plenty of rabbits and a million other things out here. They're not going to miss 4 little chicks. And I quite like the idea of, I think there's this film back in the day called Fly Away Home, where this girl kind of comes across some chicks and then she ends up flying around the world teaching them how to fly. Maybe that could be my thing. Maybe that could be my legacy. The man and his 4 chicks. Who knows? And there was 2 or 3 dead ones. I was dropping some water on their mouths so they can at least have a drink. There was 2 or 3 dead ones, and when I saw the dead ones I thought, this is weird. I've never seen a duck here, I wonder how it got here. And I automatically assumed that a buzzard had picked one up from one of the lakes or something and then dropped it off.
Got to be careful with, because without mum they're not going to be waterproof. Owners have got bitten so much that they don't like it, and they're terrified of her, and she knows it, so she plays up with them.
It was feral, the whole place was.
But he's only 18 months later, he's only just stopped hoarding food. Down, and it was like, bye. And Gypsy over there came from them as well. They gave us 4 days to get this built for them.